What's up, my YouTube trolls, Instagram haters, multitasking. I just trained my weak little pencil shoulders. Now today's video is one I've been wanting to do for a while, and I apologize for taking so long. And it actually took Jerry Ward and the Jay Cutler video that he did earlier to get me off my ass to do it. Sorry, I'm multitasking here. Bear with me. So this video is going to be my experience. It's my knowledge. It's my information. It's my experiences. It's going to be for old people, old by meaning my age, and it's going to be for you young guys. So I'm not sure how long it's going to be. I'll try to stay on point, even though I'm multitasking. But I think it's something that that needs to be said, it needs to be talked about, because I believe that Jay Cutler gave bad advice in that video when he said go talk to your doctor. And I love Jerry, even though he deleted my comments, and I'm not sure why, because deleting comments off YouTube is like kind of a bitch move. But I still love the guy. He's great. I love to watch his channel. He's got phenomenal content. And so I'll go over what my comments were before I get into my little rant. One of the things they were talking about is how much juice that the young guys are using today versus maybe in the 90s or even the early 2000s. And my comment basically was, the reason the guys are using the doses they're using today is because there's just not the quality gear. It's just not there. Unless you go deep into Mexico, you're not going to get real gear in any of the border towns. You're going to get garbage, UG Lab, homebrew shit. And most of your stuff in the United States is homebrew PEDs. A lot of those are being cut by the manufacturer and the end user who actually puts the product together for the injections or the orals. They're just, the quality's just not there. And so I kind of said as much on the comment. And I also said that even if you're savvy, someone who's savvy as I am, where you have access to people in Poland, the UK, Iran, Kuwait, Portugal, Spain, even if you have access to people in those areas, or in South America too, where there is real pharmacy grade ampules, I gotta tell you guys, there's like 3 or 4 different Jeffla Omidrin amps. Which one is the real one? Most people can't tell you. One of them's fake. Actually, all of them are fake, probably except for one. Do any of them have real stuff in them? We don't know. Is it Omidrin or is it just testosterone cypionate? We don't know. So you've got that. You've got what's another popular one? Sustenance by Karachi. There's probably 5 different amps. Which is the real one? Because they all look almost identical, but the box, the label, there's always something not quite on spot with what the pharmaceutical one from the pharmacy is. And there's a few others, but I can't, I'm not going to go into all of them right now. My point is, whether it's an Oregon Deca amp or whether it's a Karachi Sustanon, you're not really always 100% sure you're actually getting that particular product. You might be getting something completely different in those amps. And these are amps. So what choice do people have except to get the homebrew garbage? And that was kind of what my comments basically were. And I had added in the whole, I think Jay Cutler's wrong, or maybe he misspoke about going to see your doctor. And for some reason, Jerry deleted the comment. I don't know why. So I want to talk today in regards to PEDs, performance enhancing drugs, and other medications. I've got a lot of questions about this since my August 1st video. And so let's just kind of like get into it. First of all, you don't want to ask your primary doctor, your family doctor per se, for blood work regarding your hormone levels. That's about the dumbest fucking thing you can do. It's going to bring up a whole lot of fucking questions that you're not going to want to answer. Now, if you're over 40, I also still think it's a waste of time, because your general practitioner doctor doesn't know a fucking tenth of what you probably know. Fuck, my head is fucking huge. You probably know more than your fucking doctor about these compounds if you're taking them or considering taking them. They don't fucking know shit about fucking steroids except for, oh, they'll kill you. So it's kind of a waste of time. It's going to raise a lot of uncomfortable questions. So here's my advice. Go find a life extension doctor. It's going to cost you money. Your insurance is not going to cover it. My particular doctor charges, first time visit, I want to say he charges, I want to say $900. No, maybe it's less than that. I don't know. He has a first time visit charge because it's a concierge. He calls it a concierge fee. He charges $300 every 90 days. My current insurance what I do is I pay him the money. Actually, back up. I go in, I get my blood work done at a lab. I pay the lab cash. It's under $100. The lab results are sent to the doctor, the life extension doctor. The life extension doctor only charges me $200 because he's a personal friend, but he charges everybody else $300. I'm not going to mention his name, so don't ask. $300, and he writes your prescriptions. Then you take those prescriptions down to the CVS or Walmart or whatever pharmacy and get them filled. In my case, I get Watson, 10cc bottle of Watson every 90 days, and I get 30 tabs of Arimidex. 90 tabs of Arimidex. It varies back and forth. It depends. If my estrogen levels are really, really low, then we'll cut it back to half a tab every other day. If my estradiol levels are really high, we'll go back up to 1 tab every day for 90. So it constantly changes. Okay. Since basically your life extension doctor, he specializes in hormone replacement. He has a very, very good idea about what blood work looks like in a bodybuilder, so he's not as likely to freak out as your GP general practitioner. So if you're over 40 years old, and by the way, my testosterone costs me cash price under $100. It's going to vary everywhere around the United States. I've heard some guys pay $120. I've heard some guys pay $79. There's the thing. I could go to my regular doctor and I could get the same thing because I have hypogonadism failure 2. So I do have a medical condition that allows me to take the testosterone. However, every 90 days, my insurance doctor is going to pull blood. And the minute that they see a testosterone count of 2,000 to 5,000 bound and 1,250 unbound, they're going to freak the fuck out, ask a bunch of uncomfortable questions. What are you doing? What else are you taking? And they're going to pull me off, and I'm not going to have my prescription anymore. My life extension doctor knows I'm a bodybuilder. He knows what I'm doing. He knows I'm going to, when I'm competing, what my blood work looks like while I'm on, while I'm off, when I've competed, my clean out, my cruise. He knows everything. He may not like it, but it's his duty to help me and keep me healthy. And that's why I pay him cash. Now, so in my case, my testosterone levels are low naturally, so I actually have a medical condition, so it's not really that big of a deal. And again, like I said, when my doctor sees my cholesterol levels, my liver enzyme levels can go up anywhere between 1,000 to 3,000 after a show prep. which is like hepatitis C range. You want to talk about freaking a normal doctor out. Show them a liver enzyme of 3,000. They will fucking flip their lid, and you'll be seeing all kinds of specialists and all kinds of stuff, and it does not need to be done. These numbers will return back to normal. Normal for me is 70. Normal for a normal person is 35, I believe. I could be wrong. If I am, correct me down below in the comments. But for me, 70s are right around where I run. My insurance doctor, I've had the same one for 15 years. So when she does pull my blood for routine physicals and infections, or for whatever reason, or pre-surgery, she doesn't freak out. She's used to seeing my enzyme levels high. She's like, it's normal for you. It's not normal for anybody else, but it's just normal for you. It's always been that way for you. I'm not worried about it. So now I just kind of smile to myself and go, whatever. But if your cash doctor recommends things like blood pressure medicine and cholesterol medicines, again, this is a touchy subject. If he does recommend those things and you have insurance, don't use your insurance at the pharmacy to buy those medicines, because it's on your record, which is kind of what I'm leading up to here. If the doctor says your cholesterol levels are really, really high, even if your primary physician, let's say your primary care physician, doesn't matter if it's that one or your cash doctor. If either one of them says, listen, your blood pressure is sky high, I want to put you on blood medication, do not do it. Don't fucking do it. Listen to me carefully. Ask them what medications they want you to take. Put that shit down on your phone and go find it online. MexicanDrugstore.com, pharmacies in India, anywhere. Do not get that shit on your record, motherfuckers. Okay? So if your doctor says blood pressure's high, your cholesterol level's high, just go get the medication on your own. Give your doctor an excuse. Tell him you don't want the medication. You'll lose weight. Tell him you'll do more cardiovascular exercise. Tell him you'll stop eating bacon. Get whatever excuse you want to give. Get it down, because they're going to want to see you again in 2 to 3 weeks. And if they see that you brought it down, they'll leave you alone. Okay? And I'm going to tell you right now, life has a weird fucking way of biting you in the fucking dick hole. Okay? Especially now I'm talking to you young guys. If you have told your doctor to take steroids, if you have told your doctor that you have depression, if you've told your doctor you have anxiety, if your doctor has prescribed to you in the past any type of medication for cholesterol, for high blood pressure, hypertension. Let me drink some of this 75 grams of protein. Hang on. And I've got my post-workout muffin too. If you've done that, you're fucked. It's on your medical record now. And if you decide to get a job, and especially if you're a young guy, if you decide to get a job with probation, corrections, law enforcement, CIA, FBI, anything with security clearance, you're fucked. You're going to have to tell this potential new employer, and because they're going to find out, and you're most likely not going to get the job, because you're just not. I mean, think about it. You're going to sit there and sit in front of a lieutenant and say, yeah, I've used to take steroids, I don't take them anymore. He might bite, he might not, but it's going to be a mark against you, especially when they have 50,000 other suitable clients or candidates who have college degrees, no background, and no medical, and no steroids, no street drugs. They're going to pick them over you every time. Secondly, most important, you guys need to think about this as well, especially young guys, old guys too, but most of you young guys. At some point in time, you're going to want to buy health insurance. You're going to want to buy life insurance. You're going to want to buy disability insurance because you're going to have a wife and kids. If they see in your medical history that you've used steroids, that you've had hypertension, even if it was 20, 10, 15, 5 years ago, and you took medication for it, it will bite you in the fucking ass. You are not going to get the rate that you want to get. You're going to get a shitty rate. This happened to me. When I first got my health insurance, I agreed to take a blood pressure medication because it was high, and I agreed to take a depression medicine because one of my best friends had just been murdered by a drunk driver. And it was a new doctor, it was new everything, and it was just, he made it seem like it was no big deal. Take this for a month or two, you'll feel better, and that'll be the end of it. It's come back and haunted me ever since then. This is over 20 something years ago. It still comes up every time I have to renew or have to change my health insurance. I can't even get disability insurance. They won't give it to me because of the hypertension. Even though I only took the medication one time, and it was like in 2000, it don't matter. They don't want to give it to me. They say you have hypertension and you have depression. You're not a candidate for disability insurance, and they don't give me. They give me a crappy rate for life insurance. Even though I don't smoke, I don't drink, I'm already considered obese. Even if I do get my weight down to 250 pounds, man, I got to clean out because they're going to do the liver tests. They're going to do blood panel tests. I mean, they pull blood, they pull urine, they do all that stuff for life insurance. So, and they look at your medical records. So you think you're telling your doctor something in confidence, but it's not confident. It is on your file. All right? So, that's kind of the basis of it. So what do? If you can't be honest with your fucking doctor, like, you know, who you be honest with? Well, you get a cash doctor. It's going to cost you some money, but if you're going to be in this fucking sport, you're going to be in this game, you're going to be, you know, trying to look jacked, there are some things you need to do. Number one, you need to get your blood work done. You have to get your blood work done. If you don't, you're just fucking playing Russian roulette. You're going to end up with hypergonadism failure 2, just like me. You're going to end up not knowing you have high blood pressure and blowing out your kidneys. It's not fun to watch them cut your toes off, then later your foot, then later your leg, while you're sitting on that fucking dialysis machine for 8 hours a day. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to lose a kidney. It's not worth it to have a fucking heart attack at, 47, 48, 50 years old because you're fucking stupid. So get your blood work done every 90 days. If you're a young guy, get your blood work done and keep it in the file. That way you know what your blood looked like when you were in your 20 versus when you're 40, 50, and 60. Another thing you need to do is get a blood pressure cup. You can get the nice fancy ones at CVS, Walmart. They're not that expensive. They're under $100. Check your blood pressure weekly when you wake up. You could even go so far as to get a blood glucose meter, especially if you're using insulin, and check that shit. Make sure that you're healthy, guys. You can't really check your sperm count and all that unless you pay for it. That's something that your primary doctor would do. I wouldn't even worry about that unless you're trying to get pregnant and you're having a hard time. And I'm going to do a separate rant on that because I have experience in that area as well. So if you do go so get your blood pressure checked, my point. Get the blood glucose meter if you're doing the insulin. Either get your blood pressure checked or just get the cup and learn how to do it. Get your blood work pulled every 90 days. Know what's going on in your system. Know how your kidney functions, liver functions are, HDL, LDL, cholesterol levels. This is very important. If you need the medications, go get them on your own, okay? Don't stay on them. Just get the levels down. Change the oral. Get off the oral. Whatever's causing it, figure it out. Get off of it. It's not right for you. It's causing issues. It's not worth it. If you do happen to go for your doctor's office, your regular primary care, because you have a runny nose or you're a broken bone, you need stitches, and they pull your blood pressure, and it happens to be sky fucking high, basically just tell the doctor that, you just did cardio, and came in, you hit exercise in the gym, and they'll usually accept that answer as to why your blood pressure is high. A lot of times they'll check it again before you leave to see if it's come down. Hopefully you've relaxed some by then and you've controlled your breathing and you can kind of bring it down a little bit. If you have a doctor's appointment and you know your blood pressure's running a little high, we're talking, you're on the orals and it's right there at the cusp. It's not really where you want it to be, where your doctor's going to want to see it, but it's not the danger zone. I would suggest then, if you have a doctor's appointment the night before, go ahead and pop a Cialis, or pop a Cialis in the middle of the night. Jerk off, have some sex, whatever, have some fun. But the Cialis will bring the blood pressure way down, so that when you do take your when you do go in for your runny nose or whatever's wrong with you, and they check your blood pressure, it'll be low. They won't hassle you. And if the nurse is hot and the Cialis is still kicking, maybe take her in the back and fuck the shit out of her. Whatever. But lucky for me, I have a cash doctor, and I do have a health insurance doctor. I have both. And my health insurance doctor is used to seeing some pretty weird numbers. She's used to seeing my weight fluctuate extremely high because she knows I compete. So she sees me when I'm 230, 225, and she sees me when I'm 250, 260. But think of it like this. It's like this. If you would never, ever tell a cop anything. If a cop comes up to you and starts asking you questions, you don't say shit. You always ask for a fucking lawyer. And it's kind of the same thing with your doctor. You just don't tell them anything. You just say, I don't know why it's high. I exercise a lot, and maybe my blood pressure's high because I just did cardio this morning. Maybe my cholesterol's high because I've been eating like crap. I'll clean my diet up. I don't want the medicines. But just remember that everything that you tell the doctor is on your insurance record, on your primary care. Your cash doctor is cash. So you don't have to fucking tell a future employer or an insurance company anything about that doctor because it's cash. They can't find it. They can't look at you. They're not going to pull your medical card because it's a cash doctor. You paid the guy cash. It's like it doesn't exist. So I think Jay Cutler misspoke when he said that. I mean, you would never want to see your regular doctor because it will cause you problems. Trust me on this. I've been through it. Find a life extension doctor because they're more forgiving. They're taking your cash, and cash is, it's nice. And they're more likely to be easy with you on what you're doing. So that's basically it on this rant. I'm going to do another one more specifically on some of the side effects of steroids that I talked about in my last one and what to do because I got so many questions about it. I'm not sure when I'll do that video, but I will get to it. But I just thought this one was more important and had to get spoken about because too many guys, they ruin themselves by being honest. And unfortunately, and that sucks, you can't be honest. My doctor has straight up asked me, she knows I'm on hypogonadism failure too. She has straight up asked me to my face, are you taking steroids because your blood pressure is this, your weight is this? And I say, no, everything I take is over the counter. And she just goes, okay. So it's like she knows, but she can't put it in the file because I didn't admit it. That's the key, guys. So I hope you enjoyed this and if it was informative to you. If you like it, like it. If you don't, you can fuck off. I do like constructive comments. If you had a similar experience or a completely different experience, tell me. Like, I'd love to hear it. I'm not like nobody. I don't know any more than anybody else. I'm just giving you my experiences of 46 years and 25 of that of bodybuilding and what I've been through and what I've seen and the mistakes I've made so you don't make them yourself. All right? Until next time, I'm going to finish this drink and eat this muffin and get on the road.